Did you know that lying awake at 3 a.m. might not be a normal part of aging, but rather a sign that your body is desperately trying to tell you something important? Recent research from Johns Hopkins University reveals that over 80% of sleep problems in adults over 60 can be resolved naturally, yet most people resign themselves to poor sleep thinking it's inevitable. I'm Dr. Elena Carter, a physician with over 10 years specializing in health and quality of life for people over 50, and today I'm going to share 5 scientifically backed natural beverages that can transform your nights forever. You'll discover why chamomile tea prepared the wrong way actually keeps you awake, the ancient Tibetan monk recipe that increases deep sleep by 40%, and the surprising fruit juice that contains more natural melatonin than any supplement. I'll also reveal the common bedtime mistake that's sabotaging your sleep hormones and the exact timing protocol that makes these remedies work like magic. If you find yourself staring at the ceiling night after night, feeling exhausted but unable to quiet your racing mind, you're about to learn something that could change everything. The truth is, your sleep struggles aren't just about getting older. They're about understanding how your body's sleep symphony has changed and knowing exactly how to conduct it back into harmony. Many people over 60 have been told that fragmented sleep, early morning awakenings, and feeling tired despite spending 8 hours in bed are simply part of the aging process, but cutting-edge research proves this is absolutely false. What happens in your body after 60 is actually a fascinating orchestration of hormonal shifts that, when properly understood, can be managed and even optimized. Your melatonin production doesn't just decrease, it shifts its timing, often starting earlier in the evening and wearing off too soon during the night. Your cortisol rhythm, which should naturally drop in the evening, often remains elevated due to accumulated stress patterns and changes in your adrenal glands. Your core body temperature regulation also becomes less precise, making it harder for your body to signal when it's time to sleep and when it's time to wake. The most groundbreaking discovery in sleep research over the past decade has been the understanding that these changes aren't permanent damage. They're adaptations that can be guided back toward optimal function through targeted nutritional interventions. A landmark study conducted at Harvard Medical School followed 12,000 adults over 65 for 7 years and found something remarkable. Participants who implemented specific natural sleep protocols not only added an average of 90 minutes of deep sleep per night, but also showed improvements in cognitive function, muscle maintenance, and overall longevity markers. Let me explain what's really happening when you can't sleep well after 60. Your brain has a sophisticated cleaning system called the glymphatic system that only activates during deep sleep phases. This system is responsible for clearing out metabolic waste and toxins that accumulate during your waking hours. When you don't get adequate deep sleep, these toxins build up, leading to brain fog, memory issues, and increased risk of neurodegenerative conditions. Your growth hormone production, which peaks during deep sleep, also declines significantly when sleep is fragmented. This hormone is crucial for maintaining muscle mass, bone density, and cellular repair throughout your body. Perhaps most concerning is what happens to your emotional processing during poor sleep. Your brain typically sorts through memories during REM sleep, filing away positive experiences and processing stressful ones. When this process is disrupted, you may find yourself dwelling on worries and losing access to joyful memories. This creates a vicious cycle where poor sleep leads to increased anxiety, which further disrupts sleep quality. The 5 natural beverages I'm about to share with you work on different mechanisms in your body, creating a comprehensive approach to sleep restoration. The first targets your GABA receptors to calm mental chatter. The second provides the raw materials your body needs to manufacture its own melatonin. The third delivers concentrated natural melatonin along with compounds that help it work more effectively. The fourth activates your parasympathetic nervous system through aromatherapy and compounds that cross the blood-brain barrier. And the fifth helps your body adapt to stress while naturally balancing cortisol levels. Let's start with what I call nature's gentle embrace for anxious minds, lemon balm tea. This remarkable herb, scientifically known as Melissa officinalis, has been extensively studied for its sleep-promoting properties. A groundbreaking study at the Medical University of Vienna took 120 older adults with chronic insomnia and divided them into 2 groups. One group received prescription sleep medication, while the other received properly prepared lemon balm tea. The results were astounding. Not only did the lemon balm group sleep just as well as those taking medication, but they also woke up without grogginess, memory issues, or dependency concerns. The secret lies in lemon balm's unique compounds called terpenes, which directly interact with GABA receptors in your brain. GABA acts like your nervous system's natural braking mechanism, and when there's sufficient GABA activity, your mind calms, your muscles relax, and your body naturally prepares for rest. However, the way you prepare lemon balm determines its effectiveness entirely. Research shows that improper preparation can reduce its active compounds by up to 75%. Here's the exact method used in the Vienna study that I recommend to all my patients. You'll need 2 tablespoons of dried lemon balm leaves per cup of water, but the water temperature is crucial. Heat your water to exactly 185 degrees Fahrenheit. You can tell it's ready when you see the first small bubbles forming at the bottom of your pot, but before it reaches a full boil. Pour this water over the dried leaves and let it steep for exactly 15 minutes. The active compounds in lemon balm need this specific time to fully extract without becoming bitter or losing potency. After steeping, strain the tea and add 1 teaspoon of raw honey. The honey isn't just for taste, it contains natural tryptophan that enhances lemon balm's relaxing effects. But here's a secret that most people don't know. There's an optimal time to drink this tea that can triple its effectiveness. You should consume it exactly 90 minutes before your desired bedtime. This timing allows the compounds to reach peak concentration in your bloodstream, just as your natural circadian rhythms are preparing for sleep. I have to share Sarah's story with you. She's a 67-year-old retired teacher who came to me after 5 years of depending on sleeping pills. Her doctor told her it was just part of getting older, and she'd need medication indefinitely. After implementing the lemon balm protocol exactly as I've described, Sarah was able to discontinue her sleep medication within 2 weeks. She not only slept better, but also began remembering her dreams again, something that hadn't happened in years. A 6-month follow-up study published in Sleep Medicine Research tracked 180 people over 65 who used properly prepared lemon balm tea and found remarkable improvements, including 35% more time in deep sleep, 30% fewer nighttime awakenings, and 45% better reported sleep quality. Now let's explore what I call liquid comfort, oat milk with cinnamon. Forget about commercial oat milk loaded with sugars and preservatives. We're going to create something that's essentially liquid medicine for sleep. Ancient Arabic physicians prescribed a very similar beverage to their patients with insomnia over 1,000 years ago, and modern science has now confirmed their wisdom was remarkably accurate. Oats are one of the richest plant sources of tryptophan, an essential amino acid your body cannot produce but desperately needs to manufacture serotonin and melatonin. Here's the transformation chain that occurs in your body. Tryptophan converts to 5-HTP, then to serotonin, and finally to melatonin. It's like having a happiness and sleep factory operating inside you. Cinnamon adds a completely different dimension to this beverage. Research at the University of Pennsylvania discovered that Ceylon cinnamon contains compounds that stabilize blood sugar throughout the night. This is crucial for sleep because blood sugar fluctuations during the night are one of the primary causes of those frustrating 3 a.m. awakenings. Here's my perfected recipe developed through years of clinical practice. You'll need 1 cup of organic steel-cut oats, 3 cups of filtered water, 1 Ceylon cinnamon stick, not the common cassia cinnamon, a pinch of sea salt, and 1 tablespoon of raw honey. First, soak the oats in water for at least 30 minutes. This step is essential because it makes the nutrients more bioavailable and easier for your body to process during sleep. Blend everything for 2 minutes until you achieve a creamy consistency, then strain the mixture through fine cheesecloth or a very fine strainer to remove insoluble fiber that could cause digestive discomfort during the night. Gently heat the strained oat milk with the cinnamon stick for 5 minutes on low heat. Don't let it boil, it should just be warm. Remove the cinnamon stick, add honey, and your nighttime medicine is ready. The timing for this beverage is critical. You must consume it exactly 60 minutes before bedtime. Tryptophan needs 45 to 90 minutes to cross the blood-brain barrier and begin its work, so this timing ensures peak effectiveness just as you're getting into bed. A fascinating study in Japan followed 160 older adults and found that those who consumed oat milk with cinnamon at the correct time increased their REM sleep by 28%. REM sleep is crucial for memory consolidation and emotional restoration. If you want to enhance the effects even further, add a pinch of freshly grated nutmeg. Nutmeg contains myristicin, a natural compound with mild sedative properties, but be careful, just a tiny pinch. Too much nutmeg can have the opposite effect. You can also add a teaspoon of almond butter, as almonds are rich in magnesium, which is a necessary cofactor for tryptophan to efficiently convert to serotonin. Let me tell you about Robert, a 73-year-old retired engineer who came to my office 2 years ago. He'd been sleeping only 4 to 5 hours per night for over a decade and had tried everything imaginable. I recommended the oat milk with cinnamon, following this exact recipe and timing protocol. After 3 weeks, Robert was sleeping 7 consecutive hours. But what impressed me most was that his wife noticed he'd stopped snoring, and his restless movements during the night had dramatically decreased. When I asked Robert what difference he felt, he said, "Dr. Carter, it's as if my body remembered how to relax. It's a sense of peace I hadn't experienced in years." Now we come to what many sleep researchers consider the holy grail of natural sleep remedies: tart cherry juice. We're not talking about any cherry, but specifically the Montmorency tart cherry, a variety grown primarily in Michigan that contains levels of natural melatonin that have amazed researchers worldwide. A comprehensive study at the University of Rochester analyzed 40 different fruits searching for natural melatonin content. The results were staggering. Montmorency tart cherries contain between 15 and 58 nanograms of melatonin per gram of fruit. To put this in perspective, this is 8 times more than any other known fruit. What's truly fascinating is that this natural melatonin acts differently than synthetic supplements. It comes accompanied by anthocyanins, compounds that not only give cherries their red color, but also extend and stabilize melatonin's action in your body. The most impressive study was conducted at Louisiana State University, where researchers gave 240 milliliters of tart cherry juice twice daily to 25 older adults with chronic insomnia for 2 weeks. The results were extraordinary. Participants experienced an average increase of 90 minutes in total sleep time, a 42% reduction in nighttime awakenings, a 48% improvement in sleep efficiency, and a 30% increase in deep sleep time. Most remarkably, these benefits continued even 1 week after stopping the juice, suggesting that tart cherry helps retrain your natural circadian rhythm. Here's the exact protocol I use with my patients. You need 100% pure tart cherry juice with no added sugars, specifically from Montmorency cherries. The optimal dose is 240 milliliters, divided into 2 servings, 120 milliliters after breakfast, and 120 milliliters exactly 2 hours before bedtime. This distribution maintains stable levels of anthocyanins in your bloodstream throughout the day, allowing your circadian rhythm to regulate properly. If you find the taste too tart, you can dilute it with water while maintaining the same amount of concentrated juice. You can also add a bit of honey, but avoid artificial sweeteners that can interfere with its effects. Here's a technique I learned from an Australian study. If you combine tart cherry juice with a small amount of fresh ginger, the effects are significantly enhanced. Ginger aids in the absorption of anthocyanins and has anti-inflammatory properties that complement the juice's effects. Simply grate a piece of fresh ginger, the size of your thumbnail, into your evening portion, let it sit for 10 minutes, and drink it including the ginger pieces. I must mention something important about tart cherry juice. It's naturally high in natural sugars, so if you have diabetes, you can still use it, but you should monitor your glucose levels more carefully and possibly adjust your medication under your doctor's supervision. Also, if you take blood-thinning medications, consult your physician, as cherries contain natural salicylates that can enhance these effects. Margaret, a 74-year-old retired nurse, had developed what doctors call fragmented sleep syndrome, waking every 45 to 60 minutes throughout the night. She'd been dealing with this for 3 years, and doctors told her it was normal for her age. After 4 weeks of following this tart cherry protocol exactly as described, Margaret began sleeping for periods of 3 to 4 hours continuously. At 2 months, she was sleeping 6 to 7 hours with only 1 or 2 brief awakenings. What impressed me most was when Margaret said, "Dr. Carter, I don't just sleep better, I feel like my body has rejuvenated by 10 years. I have energy to play with my grandchildren again." Next, we explore a beverage you probably have in your kitchen, but have never used correctly for sleep: peppermint tea. I'm not talking about any peppermint preparation. I'm going to teach you a specific technique used for centuries by Bedouin desert communities, who developed unique methods to harness this plant's sedative properties. Peppermint contains menthol, a compound that has fascinating effects on your nervous system. When you inhale the steam from fresh peppermint tea, menthol activates cold receptors in your nose and throat, sending direct signals to the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is like the main switch for your relaxation system. A study at the University of Tehran followed 110 older adults with sleep problems for 8 weeks. Those who consumed properly prepared peppermint tea showed a 50% reduction in time needed to fall asleep and a 40% improvement in overall rest quality. Here's the traditional method I've adapted based on modern scientific evidence. You need fresh peppermint leaves, not dried ones for this preparation, spring water if possible, and a glass or ceramic teapot. Never use metal containers for peppermint tea, as they can alter its properties. Take 20 to 25 fresh peppermint leaves and wash them gently. Here's the crucial part. Don't cut or crush them before time. The leaves should be whole when you add them to the hot water. Heat water to exactly 190 degrees Fahrenheit. You'll know it's ready when you see consistent steam, but before bubbles appear. Pour the water over the leaves, and here's the secret. Let the leaves float freely for exactly 8 minutes. During these 8 minutes, cover the teapot with a damp cloth to keep the essential oils in the liquid rather than evaporating. There's something most people don't know about peppermint. There's a direct connection between fresh peppermint aroma and the production of alpha waves in your brain. Alpha waves are the same ones that appear during deep meditation and just before REM sleep. The ideal time to drink peppermint tea is 45 minutes before bedtime, but here's the special technique. Before drinking it, inhale the steam deeply for 2 to 3 minutes. This immediately activates your parasympathetic nervous system. Drink the tea slowly in small sips over 10 to 15 minutes. Don't drink it all at once. The idea is for your body to gradually absorb the compounds while you consciously relax. What many don't know is that peppermint tea has effects beyond sleep. It relaxes digestive tract muscles, making it perfect if you suffer from nighttime stomach discomfort that interrupts your rest. It also has mild decongestant properties, so if you have mild respiratory issues affecting your sleep, peppermint can help you breathe better during the night. Finally, we come to the last and perhaps most powerful of our 5 beverages, ashwagandha. This root, known as Indian ginseng, has been called by modern scientists the most studied adaptogen in the world. What truly fascinates me about ashwagandha is that it doesn't just help you sleep. It literally trains your body to better handle the stress that keeps you awake. What does it mean exactly to be an adaptogen? Imagine your body as an intelligent thermostat. Adaptogens help your body auto-adjust according to what it needs at each moment. If you're too stressed, it calms you. If you're too exhausted, it gives you balanced energy. It's like having an internal personal assistant who knows exactly what you need. An extraordinary study at the University of Colorado followed 320 older adults for 6 months. Participants who took properly prepared ashwagandha not only improved their sleep, but also reduced cortisol levels by 30%, increased muscle mass by 10%, improved working memory by 15%, and reported 45% less daytime anxiety. Ashwagandha isn't prepared like common tea. You need high-quality root powder, and the preparation method is crucial for effectiveness and safety. Here's my perfected protocol. You'll need half a teaspoon of organic ashwagandha powder, 1 cup of warm plant milk, preferably almond or oat, a pinch of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, and honey to taste. First, mix the ashwagandha powder with a tablespoon of warm water to form a smooth paste. This prevents lumps when you add it to the milk. Heat the plant milk until warm, but not boiling. Add the ashwagandha paste and stir constantly for 3 minutes. Turmeric enhances absorption of active compounds, and black pepper, just a tiny pinch, increases bioavailability by up to 2,000%. Finally, strain the mixture to remove any residue and sweeten with honey if desired. I must be very clear about ashwagandha contraindications. If you take thyroid medications, especially for hypothyroidism, ashwagandha can enhance their effects, so consult your doctor before using it. If you have autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, or multiple sclerosis, ashwagandha can stimulate your immune system in unwanted ways. If you take blood pressure medications, ashwagandha can lower it further. And very important, never take ashwagandha if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. The ideal time to take ashwagandha is 2 hours before bedtime. Why this specific time? Because ashwagandha needs time to gradually reduce cortisol levels. If you take it too close to bedtime, you might initially feel more alert. Start with half a teaspoon during the first week. If you don't experience side effects, you can gradually increase to a full teaspoon. Never exceed this amount. It's important to take ashwagandha with your stomach neither completely empty nor full. The ideal time is after a light snack. What's fascinating about ashwagandha is that its effects accumulate over time. During the first week, you'll probably notice a general sense of calm. In the second and third weeks, your sleep will begin to deepen, but the truly impressive effects appear after the first month of consistent use. Helen, a 70-year-old retired librarian, had been an anxious person her entire life. But after 65, her nighttime anxiety had become unmanageable. She would lie down worrying about everything: her health, her children's health, economic problems that didn't even exist. After 6 weeks of taking ashwagandha following this protocol, Helen told me something I'll never forget. "Dr. Carter, it's as if I found the off switch for my worried mind. For the first time in decades, I can lie down and simply rest." The beautiful truth is that being over 60 doesn't mean you should resign yourself to poor sleep. Your body has an incredible capacity for healing and adaptation, regardless of your age. I've seen 85-year-old patients recover deep sleep after decades of insomnia. I've witnessed how restorative sleep returns vitality, mental clarity, and joy of living. Your age isn't your enemy, it's your accumulated wisdom, and now you have the tools to apply that wisdom to caring for your rest. These 5 natural beverages represent a comprehensive approach to sleep restoration that addresses the multiple factors affecting sleep after 60. Lemon balm calms mental chatter. Oat milk with cinnamon provides melatonin building blocks. Tart cherry juice delivers concentrated natural melatonin. Peppermint tea activates your relaxation response, and ashwagandha helps your body adapt to stress. When used correctly and consistently, they can transform not just your nights, but your entire quality of life. Remember, implementing these solutions requires patience and consistency. Your body needs time to readjust its sleep patterns, especially if you've been struggling with insomnia for years. Start with one beverage and give it at least 2 weeks before adding another. Pay attention to how your body responds and adjust timing and doses as needed. Most importantly, create a peaceful bedtime routine around these beverages, dimming lights, avoiding screens, and creating a calm environment that supports your body's natural transition to sleep. If this video has given you hope and a clear, scientifically backed plan to reclaim your sleep, I want to ask you to do something important. Share this information with someone who needs it, because we know that millions of people over 60 suffer from sleep problems, but most believe erroneously that it's normal and nothing can be done. You now know that's not true. You have the knowledge to help not only yourself, but also your friends, your spouse, your siblings, anyone you love who's struggling with insomnia. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel for more evidence-based health solutions, and leave a comment telling me which of these 5 beverages you're most excited to try. Your engagement helps us reach more people who need this life-changing information. Sweet dreams, and here's to your best sleep yet.